Kev. Boy Kev in the building. Jeff.
Hello, what's
Jay. Oh man. Alright. You press the button? You recording?
No, I ain't recording yet.
Cause I know some people.
I'm recording now. It's recording now.
Now
Let's
imagine
get it.
if I ain't say press the record button.
I was gonna press the record
That
button.
lets you know what I'm saying? That gives you a little insight, right?
I guess.
All right.
Don't say I guess because you saw it, bro. We're not doing this
That
again.
gives
You
you a
saw
little
the
insight.
video.
Hey, bro, I don't know what y'all got going on.
You just
bro.
said 2 weeks ago that you saw him not push the button because it was in front of him.
No,
Now
he didn't see
today-
me.
I
How
said
you
that.
see me not push the button? He didn't say that.
What?
That's not what he said.
So when we was at the other studio, where was the sound bar thing? Where was it at?
That's not what
Is it
he
in front of
said
you?
though.
So
We
who was in
saw
charge
it.
of pushing the button
We saw
typically?
it. And let's get into the episode, man.
You're listening to No Table Manners Podcast. Conversations for open-minded grown folks. We hope you enjoy.
It's a No Table Manners podcast.
You want to talk about generational curses? This is one right here.
It's your boy Quell,
Short of God.
Q, Mark Quell, whatever you want to call me. I'm here with my co-host.
I was Jalen.
Who are you now?
I'm on Demon Time.
I'm here with
DT.
Jeff, what's good? What's good?
Jeff, my boy JD. We go way back like 4 flats on the Cadillac.
You already know.
Bringing on a special guest for the day, my boy
Yeah.
Kev.
Yeah.
A Quiet Mind.
Quiet Minds YouTube channel. Y'all know what it is.
Shout out.
Shameless plug.
Come on. Let's
All
get
right. So today's episode, we're going to be talking about generational trauma, generational curses. Like, do we feel like generational curses are real, or are they just excuses to do whatever, continue toxicity? Like, what are y'all thoughts?
Shoot, I don't know, to be honest with you. Cause I ain't really experienced no generational curse.
Okay.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I ain't saying my family perfect, but I ain't really been exposed to anything like that. Unless they hid it away from us. They did a good job, but I don't know.
Do you think everybody got generational curses or just made up stuff?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah.
No.
I think it's when you grow up sometimes, like people may want to use generational curses as an excuse as to why they are where they are. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a situation where you can make a change and, you know, like I said, you hide your kids away from certain things, like they will never be exposed to any type of curse. I think, I don't want to say it's an excuse because to me, this just sounds like, it's already a negative connotation, but it's like to tell somebody you're making excuses. It's like, you don't know what I'm going through. Like, you don't know my struggle, but It's like, you're right. Like, I can't put words in your mouth or speak for you. So, but I feel like you do have to work hard, you know what I mean, to get to where you want to be in life in general. Yeah, I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
What about
Yeah, it is.
What about you?
I haven't really been through any generational curses either, to be honest. I think my parents did go through that, and I think that's why I didn't, because they didn't want to pass that down.
Mhm.
Whether that's an excuse or not, I'm not really sure. I do think generational curses are real, but I think it's up to the parent to break whatever that curse may be.
Right.
And I think my parents did a good job of doing that.
All right, Kev. I feel like you kind of in the same
Opposite.
boat as me.
I'm with it, but I'm opposite. Like, it's not an excuse. Like what Jalen was saying, it's not an excuse or just some made up stuff. But at the same time, if you're not aware or knowledgeable, like what's going on, like in your previous whatever with your family, I feel like your mom and dad gotta let it be known what was going on in their life
Mhm.
prior to that, how they was growing up, to let you know, okay, damn, we're going through the same kind of vibe that they went through. But if your parents don't never say nothing, and you gotta have honesty too in your family. So if you're not really being honest with what's going on in your life, you could be doing something and then your grandma, your mom look at you like, that nigga just like his dad, act just like. So I done heard that before too.
Yeah.
So like generational curse, it's a curse when don't nobody know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or people not like, I say open to express like some of the stuff they went through in their past. And that'd be very well, I think, the reason why Niggas don't go where they supposed to go.
Facts.
Mhm.
So I think generational curses are real, but at the same time, I think an excuse, it can be used as an excuse when you have no clue that it's a curse,
Right.
right? So what a generational curse to me is something that hinders your family, your legacy, your last name to grow. Because if you're the same place or close to the same place your family was 2-3 generations back, it's like something's holding y'all back.
Mm.
You know, whether it could be we have listed addiction, abuse, whether that's verbal or physical, mental, poverty, communication problems. Just there's a lot of things that can fall under the umbrella of a generational curse. It's just something that holds your family back. Not really just setting you back, but holds your family back. And I think it becomes a curse, just like you said, when it's not a lot of times it's not realized like, oh, we do have this problem. Because especially in our community, we don't really talk a lot about therapy and figuring out why I think the excuse that's used a lot is, oh, this is the way I am.
Facts.
That's how our parents raised us this, so this is how we should raise our children. Oh, we did. And it's like, I actually told my son yesterday when I picked him up from school, just because we do things as parents, and I was talking about him and his mom. I mean, me and his mom. Just because there are certain things we do as parents, it doesn't mean it's always the right thing to do. And I'm telling my son that because there's no book of how to raise your child, right? You're learning along the way. Yeah, people may be teaching you and helping you as well, but there are things that you're going to figure out on your own where you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm doing this the right way or the wrong way, or is it just my way? And I had to tell my son, like, hey, just because I'm your parent and I'm doing it this way, it doesn't mean it's always right. So be aware of that. So that can, if you don't, just like I said, if you don't acknowledge that and be honest about it, that generational curse can keep going down for generation after generation, and nobody even knows. But the fact that y'all two haven't gone, well, you said y'all don't really see any of the generational curses. Your parents probably could have been the ones that broke the chain.
Yeah,
that broke the curse.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be
Yeah.
the one that breaks the curses of my family.
I feel like though, even if you break the cycle, it's still something you gotta let be known to your kids. Like,
Yeah,
this shit get wicked out here. Like, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do some stuff. Like, you have to change it, and then you gotta really. I feel like you gotta beat your own mental up, because now you're trying to do something different than how your parents, your brothers, your sisters may carry themselves. So sometimes I ain't gonna lie, like, it be situations how I carry myself. If you don't act or do this a certain way, you can be in your own head like, bro, you're a bitch ass nigga because you ain't. So now it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's all a part of the, like, no, he can laugh, I ain't tripping. Like, I should have some shots, it'd have been over with.
you're a bitch ass nigga.
But you really be having to check yourself along the way. And you got to remind yourself just like, what's the goal? What am I trying to do?
Yeah.
But like, it just depends on what kind of family you come from. Because if you unravel some of that in your family,
Boy,
you can't put all that shit on you, bro.
It get deep.
She can't put all that on you, bro.
It gets deep, man.
I think one of the biggest curses I say, like, for us, not for us and like all of us, I'm talking about my family. I was the first nigga out of the whole family to go to college, bro.
Oh wait, you know what?
That's some crazy shit.
I was too.
I was too.
I was the first man. My sister was the first to go to college, but I was the first man.
So like, what was the experience though, being the first? Like, you can't go back home and ask questions or nothing.
So my first year, bro, like college was, bro, I was coming home regardless. Like, I was trying everything in my power to get back to the crib.
What's going
I went to North Carolina Westland. That's at
okay.
I'll never do that again. Worst experience.
Of course, you ain't gonna do it again.
But I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't encourage nobody to do nothing like that. Because that was a culture shock for me, first and foremost. Like, just being on your own, being away from the crib, like having to go to the cafeteria and the food ain't what you want it to be. You know what I mean? Like, it was a different experience, but it was good at the same time. It taught me a lot of valuable lessons of being independent.
Yeah.
But being the first one, like, I'll say, because I didn't even really think about it I wouldn't consider that a curse. I would just
facts.
But it is something
it's
something that we broke. Like,
it's the fact that you don't have formal education,
right? So
further education
in my family, like, me, my brother, my sister, because my sister's about to graduate next year. So all three of us have graduated from college. Like all,
Man,
all
that's
three of
dope.
us.
That's
So,
bro. That's
Yes,
lit.
sir. That's
yeah,
dope
appreciate
right
that.
there.
Bullshit.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
us. But because I graduated from UNCC, my brother graduated from UNCC, and then my sister's about to graduate from Winston-Salem State.
Okay.
So I think that in itself, just being able to have that success for all,
Yeah,
for all
set that
three of us,
standard,
like
yeah.
like
Y'all raised the bar.
we on exactly. So it's just like every time, anytime our grandmother goes to like events, she always talks about, my grandkids graduated from college. I'm like, yeah, shout out to me. Like we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely say, and being the first, like I had to set the standard. Like I had to finish. Like it took me a while to finish, but because I kept changing my major. But
Man.
yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Bro, I dropped out senior year with 3 classes left, bro.
You was tweaking.
I am.
Yeah,
But hey,
you finished though, right?
hell
No,
no.
Come on, bro. You gotta
Nah, you are tweaking.
just
I am tweaking.
go back. Just go finish,
senior,
bro.
senior year,
That's crazy work.
Senior year, 3 classes left.
You right there. The finish line is right there.
You tweaking.
You gotta go back though.
That motherfucker, I'm
You gotta go back.
Bro.
You gotta finish though, bro. But yeah,
I might go to
that's
Everest. I ain't gonna lie.
that was a good point though. Graduating college for sure.
Okay, well, have y'all? I know you just named one, but have any of y'all witnessed any repeating patterns or cycles in your family? Like whether it's when you were a kid or you grew up and was like, dang, I didn't even notice that when I was a kid, but I see it now.
I say in my family, bro, a lot of us, like my siblings and my cousins, shit, everybody had babies around 16, bro, 15, 16. But like the age I'm at now, not having kids, bro, it's so important to like, bro, be young, enjoy life, and bro, I'm telling you, 30s is different, bro. You turn 30. I can't even imagine having 2 sons or 2 daughters or something like that while growing up. You raise yourself or trying to raise somebody else, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's just one part of it. Then you got the other shit around it with family members might not be able to like support. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy or the girl you with, they can just be talking your head off crazy. But you gotta be composed. So you really lose your mind keeping it composed while raising your kids. So I'm just like, man, look, everybody in my family got kids, bro. I'm like one of the only ones that ain't got kids.
It's not about having kids. It's having kids when
with somebody
you're not ready yet.
I think it's having kids with somebody who's going to be there to support you at the same time.
I think that too, but you have to be ready, like for yourself. Because I mean, I'm the only one on here that has a kid and had one early, and it was like I just know how much harder I made it for myself by having a kid early. You got a kid, Jay? You looking like you don't want to say no.
I don't have a kid.
Hey, you looking like
I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no kids. All I got is a nephew. I got good company.
Oh. Congrats, bro.
I ain't got no kids, bro.
Twin girl?
Don't wish that
on me. Talking about, bro.
Don't wish that on me, bro. Not right now. Not right now. At some point, right? At some point.
I was just making sure.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, about next 2 years.
Yeah, next 2 years. Yeah, you remember we talked about that?
Yeah, but I ain't doing that plan.
Man.
No, it's 2 years.
Yeah, we ain't doing that plan.
2027.
That's valid.
It's a valid year, but we ain't
26, 27.
But what you asking? We'll talk about it another day. We ain't gonna have a conversation on it.
For sure.
Okay.
Can you label anything as a generational curse though?
I mean, I don't know about anything, but something.
What if everybody in your family like alcoholics?
That's a
generational curse.
That's like, to me, I was just reading up on it. That's like from what I was looking at, it was like more of a spiritual. What was the term to use? It was like a spiritual curse in a sense, where it's like that same thing follows you from generation to generation. Almost like I don't want to say that word, but even though I called myself earlier.
Well, with spirits, that's what they call liquor.
Yeah.
But not only are you seeing it, right? It's a coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have to have it to have fun, or have to have it to deal with the stresses of life. Like, man, I just had a long day of work, and I gotta crack me open a beer.
No, that's fair.
I want to ask a question, but I know y'all in situations.
Like, what?
You in a situation?
Who, me? Yeah. No.
So he can answer the question. I mean, I know we on the camera, so
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm saying, okay, you said generational curse like alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So what about niggas smacking hella bitches? Is that a generational curse? Or is that what you're supposed to do?
Bro, you think you're supposed to smack bitches?
Yeah.
You mean smack?
No,
having sex.
Come on, bro.
I want to make sure we was on the same. Because when he said smack, I'm like, what smack?
I was like, whoa.
Open hand?
Nah, that's.
I thought you about abuse.
Bro, I was like,
bro, abuse is
generational trauma.
That's a generational curse. You
like,
keep
bro,
beating up
what are
on
we
women.
talking about? But you was talking about pretty much having sex.
Like coping, like, okay, today went bad, or this nigga how it's supposed to.
I think that could be perceived
no,
as
sex is definitely like.
I think that could be perceived as one.
Using sex as a coping mechanism is kind of crazy, but it is there. Like I know what you're talking about.
I think it could be perceived
because
as
even as
far
as like beating your meat too, or like masturbation, it's just like to cope. That's not good.
That ain't a conversation. Well, I don't know everybody's family, but you can have a conversation with their parents about beating their shit though. But you have a conversation about knocking hoes down, or if you're a woman sleeping with whoever you sleep with.
No, I think it depends on how close you are with your family. If you had that conversation, I don't know if everybody's going.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't think everybody's gonna have that conversation that said, like, "Mom, man, I just hit 5 holes yesterday." Like they're not gonna have that type
but
of
look
talk.
though, that is a generational curse.
I think
not being
it
able to
could
have that communication where it's like,
not being able to have the
communication. Not being able to tell your mom that you did that.
No,
I'm saying if you say that, right, because as a parent, I wouldn't know if you're doing this right.
Yeah.
And I can't give you my wisdom.
Insight. Okay, I get that. I respect it.
But then that apple don't fall too far from. So
because what is she like? Yeah, my dog. Like,
then that'll
make your son feel comfortable or your daughter feel comfortable.
No, but I'm saying, okay, so like if my son says, "Hey, yo, I just hit 5 girls this week, 5 different girls this week," and I'm like, "Talk to me, bro. Like why?
What you got going on?
Like why?"
Right.
Why I get that. I say it can definitely be perceived as a generational curse. I think so.
It's not. That's
kind of crazy.
I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna whoop him. I'm gonna be like, bro, wow, what's up? Like, do you think it makes you feel cool? Does it make you feel more like a man? Like, what's going through your head when are you accomplishing something? So just being able to have that communication open, but that's everything for a child to have with their parent, because there's a lot of stuff we kept from our parents. Because we're like, I don't know how they're gonna take this. Or are you scared? Or you
but they be knowing just from watching your tendencies.
Nah,
how
they don't
move.
be knowing.
I swear to God, parents be knowing.
Yeah, I don't know. Your parents,
bro. Your parents raised you for 20 years.
They can tell.
I mean, your parents do know you.
It's that same thing where it's like I've done the same thing.
You can tell when your son lying, right?
That's because I've seen him since this.
That's what he said.
I said, y'all parents. My parents weren't like that. My dad, I got back with my dad from I was like 4 or 5 when my parents got a divorce.
Yeah.
And then he had to learn me again at 13, 14. He was like, why are you like this? Well, I'm a mama's son. Like she raised me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, why do you feel like you got an opinion on everything? Because I watched how my mama handle stuff. So, and then once I left my mom and I came here and I went back to my mom when I was.
So you was sassy?
No, not sassy. It was just, if he would say something, it's pretty much what people call talking back.
Sassy.
It's not talking back is sassy.
That's what they gonna call it.
I thought talking back was.
I'm using a term that they gonna give you.
You know what I'm saying? Talking back is sassy.
I'm listening.
I thought talking back was
giving you the new term.
That's
as a child.
Yeah, that's supposed to take everything.
That's what I'm saying.
But hear me out. I get what you're saying. I'm saying in this culture that we are in now, that's what they're gonna consider.
I ain't worried
being
about
sassy.
It depends on how I'm talking back.
Because
if he say, hey, go to your room. Well, I ain't gotta do all that's sassy.
No,
that's sassy.
So is it saying something back, or is it tone and mannerism?
It's the mannerism tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not to me. That's more disrespect.
No, that's disrespect too.
I was talking like don't talk back like that.
But if
you don't talk to no adult that way.
My thing is, it depends on what you're saying. If I'm saying something in a respectful manner, but you told me something, right?
Why can't you talk back as
why
a kid?
Why can't I respond?
Well, what if they told you something and you said you said no. Or but you explain why.
That's not respectful. If they told you something, and
so if you saying, "Hey, go do the dishes," he's like, "Why I gotta do the dishes?"
That's disrespect.
Because
I would never say that.
I just asked you to go do it.
Okay, let's say
I'm teaching you in this household that you got to be able to clean up behind yourself, take care of yourself. When you get out to do it on your own, this is shit that you got to do anyway. You got to learn how to wash dishes now. Go wash the dishes.
We in 2025, right? We play video games.
Respectfully,
there's no pause button anymore.
Nah,
There's no pause button.
ain't no pause button.
There is. Depending on the game plan. It depends
Like
on
if you
the
play
game plan.
There's no pause
If
button.
you playing Call of Duty, no, there's no pause button.
But if you're playing online, there's no pause. If you playing by yourself,
most likely, depending on the game, yes. Most likely though, there's no pause button. Most people just don't play a game one-on-one. A lot of people play games online.
Yeah,
you got pause button online. It just depends on the
there
game.
is a pause button, but there's a timer though. If you play Madden, there's a timer at the bottom to say how much time you got in between your pause.
So if my son is 9, and I say, hey, Malachi, go take a shower. He says, can I finish this match? Is that disrespectful?
No.
No, I wouldn't consider that to be disrespectful. I wouldn't consider that to be disrespectful.
Some parents take it. I said, do it now.
No,
I think some parents be tired.
But that's where it gets tricky because it's like everyone raises their kids differently.
But I also believe there's an age thing with that as well, because you understand that the game does not have a pause button. You played it, so you know that it doesn't have that. But my dad, if he doesn't understand that, my dad don't know.
If the communication is open enough to say, "Hey,
Dad, my game don't have a pause button."
What do you mean? Well, come here, let me show you.
Well, when he grew up playing video games,
it don't matter.
Hold on, brother. When he grew up playing Tetris and Pac-Man, there was a pause button.
I get it.
So he understood he can pause, go do the dishes, come back to his same game and finish playing.
And that's what I mean. The communication is broken because that's a generational curse.
Is that number one? Huh? Is that like number one, y'all? Like communication in our household?
I think communication probably is the biggest thing. I believe so.
What is communication like? Like, what does it like do if you are having conversations with your parents?
It allows you to be open and have like
you feel safe.
Yeah, to be vulnerable.
What if you open up and then your parents still don't?
Then you break. Then that's
a them problem.
That's them. And then that's why I was like, when I got older, I'm gonna do this. When I have a child, this is how I'm gonna let my son talk to me.
Do y'all feel y'all need to know y'all parents? Like,
what you mean?
Like, do you feel y'all need to know y'all parents like history and stuff to know what you doing out here too? I think I do.
I think it helps a lot.
Yeah, I think it could help. I don't think I need to know though. I feel like most of the times, even it comes out at some point throughout your life. Like,
it does. It definitely comes out.
Yeah, it get exposed because you go to the family reunions, you do this, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember your dad used to like." At some point,
that'd be the shit. It'd be shocking.
Yeah, but it's better if like the parent just openly tells you that rather than you finding out like this.
But why? Like,
because
if it has
just
nothing,
like
I don't feel like I need to know if it has no effect on what I got.
But
if
your parent is raising you and they're open and honest with you about their life, what they've been through, that could help you out because most likely what you go through, they already went through.
Yeah, which I understand that, but I'm saying like as I'm growing up, I don't feel like that's something that I don't know when is the appropriate time to have that conversation like that.
I'm gonna give you
about what though.
If you're saying that your parents should be open with you about
with this instance, right? We all heard this because I said so. I vow to never tell my child because I said so. If he's asking, hey, why do I need to do this? I will say, you need to do this because whether it's washing dishes or, hey, you having sex with 5 different girls, Well, why can't I do that? I can go back. Like if I've never been burnt, but if I've been burnt, I say, hey, I've been burnt before because of
You're saying basically if he's asking the question, give him the reasoning behind it. I definitely totally understand that.
Because it just depends on like, or hey, if you used to run the streets or whatever, I used to kick doors, I used to sell drugs, or I was hanging around. I didn't do anything, but I was hanging around the wrong crowd, wrong place, wrong time. I'm telling my son, hey, mind who you're around.
Absolutely.
Mind your friends. Yeah. Well, why you don't want me hanging around Johnny? Because I used to hang around somebody like Johnny. And here's the signs I see. And here's what happened to me.
I get that.
That's when.
But I would definitely say my dad definitely did that.
Yeah,
a lot of times because it'd be sometimes I'd be, we outside playing on the goal or whatever, like shooting around, and say Christmas just came around. You telling everybody what you got for Christmas.
And
my dad's like, hey.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
You definitely do that.
Don't be telling people what you got.
Them you got anything.
I think
no system, nothing.
So my dad, he was doing that.
I think it go forward like y'all saying, okay, we all parents. Let's say we all got sons or daughters. They come to us with a question about some real shit, but it's going to expose something you may have done in your childhood. And the parent agrees over that like ain't nothing happening. That shit going to continue. There. So when the right time is when your child feels comfortable to ask the question.
Yeah.
But I would want to give you that. I would want to give you that answer when I feel like you could can fully comprehend.
But you could think it.
No,
you can handle
trust me, bro.
But I'm saying, but if you, at what age would be a good? Because I don't feel like I can be as. What's
but that's how you prep them to be ready, though.
Right, but I'm saying, like, what age would be appropriate? Because I don't feel like I can go in depth about the situation.
Oh, no, I'm saying
you're 6 years old asking me a question. Like,
No,
I'm saying,
you can think it, bro. That means you already know.
No, I'm telling you,
but I want you to be able to comprehend exactly.
Bro,
why
kids are smarter than what you think, bro.
I'm not saying
and
that
you're around
kids.
I'm not saying that they're not, but I want you to fully comprehend as to
sometimes
why.
you're not going to comprehend everything.
You
but
can
you
keep
still
having that conversation over, though.
But you still plant the seed.
I respect that.
You plant the seed, and then when they get old, hey, remember when I told you? Yeah, I remember that. Here's why I told you that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's 5, 6, 10 years down the line, like, I remember you telling me that. Here's why.
I can get that. I can understand that.
Because my son, obviously, me and his mom broke up when he was 2. So I'm not going to be telling him 2 or 3, hey, me and your mom not together. Here's why. He don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he does see is mommy and daddy are separate. And as he got older and said, hey, because he said one time, I think he was like 5 or 6, and he was like, oh, my daddy got a wife. My daddy's wife is mommy. I'm like, and I had to say, no, that's just your mom. Yeah, that's just your mom. That's not my wife. That's not my girlfriend. Like, that's just your mom. Oh, what does that mean? That just means that we had a child together, but me and her are no longer together. Partners like that. We're not like, and then I give him a physical example, like my dad and my stepmom. We're not like Pop and Gigi.
Mm.
That's husband and wife. We're just your parents. That's it.
Get up.
So that's, depending on their age, their understanding level, comprehension level, you can just break it down for certain things. But they're smarter than what a lot of people think.
I'm not saying that they aren't. I'm around kids all day at work. Like, I get that, but I feel like there's certain things that, because, like, even with that being said, like, my kids are very smart, so they'll come and tell me stuff that I don't need to know. Right? Like, I don't need to know what's going on in your house. Like, that stays in your house. Like, you don't need to go and tell everybody what your family has going on at home. Sure. Like, you need to keep that. And I don't think they really comprehend that aspect of it. That needs to stay in house. Because they'll come and say, Mr. Jalen, guess what my mom did? I'm like, bruh, hold on. Like, I don't need to know that.
That is on the parent. That's on the parent.
I don't need to know that. But even if most of the time, if you say, like, hey, this is between, you have to keep this in here, they still gonna go out there and tell them.
Different, bro. Some live like, you know what I'm saying?
But these kids these days is different. Like, I don't feel. First of all, me personally, I don't feel comfortable having a conversation with no 8-year-old about what you got going on at home.
But that's why a lot of nonsense, crazy shit is happening out here.
But I don't need to know that, though.
I feel like, bro, the way the world moving, you being yourself and authentic, like, hey, this happened with such and such. Shit, that shit happened. But people now understand and accept for you, bro. You can get rich off of just being yourself now.
That's like a very good point.
What I'm saying is the generational curse, bro. Sometimes it's like a mirror that it shines into your family, your person, whatever. It's like that be the thing why a nigga don't do what he supposed to do. Mm-hmm. Or bro, if I step out here, the niggas gonna look at me crazy. Bro, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, bro. Bro, I'm talking about you can get so high up out here, bro. Niggas ain't even gonna remember what the fuck. Okay, for example, it might be a situation like, y'all know how it is when we used to hoop. We'll go to a gym somewhere, a nigga walk in that might have went a little further than us. They'd be like, bro, on the way to the league, he did that.
I ain't never did that to nobody.
But I'm saying it's be the niggas sitting around us.
I never did that.
We don't hold the nigga. He used to be like this.
Yeah,
bro, we really like that in the gym growing up. But it's like, damn, why does that matter?
That was never me.
It don't gotta be you, but you heard the conversation.
I don't want to be around you. I will leave. Even y'all do. If y'all see me today, like if y'all start talking about people, I will walk away.
But I'm saying, like,
I don't care. Like,
didn't be the conversations.
We gonna go that he got to guard me just like I got to guard him. I need to see if I'm
that's not what he's saying.
I'm saying, like, look, we walk in the gym, we hooping, and then we cool with somebody that's like, he out of here doing what he supposed to do. It could be rap, basketball, whatever.
Okay, I get what
it'd be another nigga somewhere. Bro, I swear to God, when I get on, I'm gonna show the nigga he ain't really like that. Or now you trying to, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I'm saying, as you build yourself up, that little piece of hate, somebody that don't got the mental toughness to hear it and be like, damn, I don't even want to go out there no more. These niggas saying I can't do it. I'm like, bro, go ahead, bro. Fuck that shit. You gotta accept criticism that come with whatever you're doing. But if you don't keep going, bro, I feel like that's the curse right there.
I get that. The curse I feel like in our culture is hatred. Like,
oh yeah, it's crab in the barrel.
Yeah, just yesterday, bro. I was watching the
communication.
What was I watching?
But that's community.
What I watched.
Actually, not the
clip that I had sent y'all that on the messages that I took away.
With y'all?
No, not with y'all. With LeBron. So basically, LeBron was out. LeBron been doing this for years, bro. he was out on the court. He was shooting around shirtless. And Isaiah Thomas was like, man, this is unacceptable. We need to be professionals and this, that, and the third. And if you're going to find anybody, you need to find him. I'm like, bro, he been doing that I'm like, bro, Hooper's been shooting shirtless for years.
He's my old Isaiah.
Isaiah Thomas, yeah.
The old
Detroit Pistons. I'm like, bro, why are we mad at this man? Why every week they got something new about this man? Every week is something new. All we do, bro,
they
is
made their dollars.
Back to like all day. It's like, bro, I've seen people shoot around shirtless for years, bro. It's not that deep. You got NFL players going out there in the cold in Buffalo,
no bullshit,
training shirtless, but ain't nobody saying nothing about that. But it's because it's LeBron James and he shooting around in shoot around hours before the game, where fans ain't even like, bro. Who cares, bro? Stop just the hatred, bro. It pisses me off.
All right, let's bring it back on track.
That's a curse, bro. Hatred is a curse.
Yes, that. But
that's still on track. Hatred is a curse, bro. And that goes, bro. That goes deeper because that's why people. That's why these kids, these YNs. That's how these YNs got created, bro. Hatred, bro. How you hate somebody from another streets?
No,
we're not from 63rd. It's a street, bro. What are we talking about? What are we doing, bro?
All right. So what?
I don't get it, bro.
Right, though.
I don't get it, bro. I don't understand.
You're right.
It's hatred.
The community definitely. I ain't gonna say like
we talking about a generational.
That is a generational
family.
We are a family, bro. Black culture. We are a family, bro.
Okay, we stick
together no matter what. Who's wrong? Who's right? Like we gonna stick together no matter what.
All out of crazy shit.
Which was
I'm saying in general.
Yeah, like bro. Go ahead, my fault. Go ahead.
What's one cycle you personally broken or are trying to break?
Hating.
Honesty.
Okay, what?
Hating. Hating. Bro, I want everybody to succeed, bro. Hating, bro.
What about you, Jeff?
What am I gonna hate you for?
Your family be hating?
No.
Okay,
we don't do that.
We're gonna go back to you. What about you?
I would say
in your family.
Yeah, my family. For me, I would say trying to pursue this entrepreneurship route.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that's a generational curse because there's not any entrepreneurs in my family, but that's the one I say I'm trying to pursue.
So would you think that goes down to financial constraints, like financial restraint? Like you said, hey, I want to break this. I want to become a business owner so that way I can set up a legacy for my future.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's more so like, because right now, all of us have had to pretty much start on our own. Our career, it was no nepotism involved with any of us.
Oh yeah, no.
So the fact that LeBron, back to your man, he can help Bronny get into the league without the resume. That's something that we all strive to do.
I don't. You know what they do? What do they do?
They talk down on
what they call it though. What's it called though?
Nepotism.
No, what's called hate, bro?
Well, y'all ain't following.
Come on, bro. Hatred, bro. They do the same thing on a regular basis, and he gets to get the opportunity to do it one time because Bryce is gonna get in just because. Bryce gonna get in too. Like we all know that.
They wasn't hating on King Griffey Jr. like that.
Come on, brother.
But that's because Junior was like that.
No, he was like that.
Junior was like
but
that.
His dad was. No,
Junior got it. Yes.
Well, nobody hating on none of them Palinkas. None of them.
It's because
all of them had a job.
It's only because of the resume.
All of them had a job.
First of all, they own the business. You can't tell the owner what to do. LeBron don't own the Lakers.
LeBron is a business.
That's exactly why
I am the business.
Nah, that's facts.
LeBron is the business.
But the Palinkas own the Lakers. It's
LeBron owns the NBA. Let's keep it a stack.
Okay.
Let's call it.
Ken, what about you? What's
got a good point.
A curse that you're trying to break? What's the cycle you're trying to break or you have broken in your family?
Shit. I'd say honesty, community, team. I realized in my household, but it wasn't no team. Like anything as far as like I said, we was all brothers and we was in the same household. And our mom told us to put a plan together. We slapped the paper down and tried to put a plan together. I'm talking about off the first. Well, I ain't doing this shit because I remember when you left a motherfucking bowl in the sink and I ain't going for none of that. I'm like, bro, we fuck all that shit. We trying to put a plan together. How can we put this plan together to goddamn? And I learned like, bro, a lot of times niggas don't have a goal bigger than just their personal feelings. Yeah. So you can't never step past your emotion or your feeling because anytime something sway you left or right, you fucking forgetting what the goal was. So I'm gonna say honesty, community, and team.
Okay. What about you?
Solid. What's the question?
What's one cycle that you personally broken or are trying to break in your family? If there is one.
Hating?
Your family be hating on you?
No, we don't. Nah. Nah. I think I can't think of that right now.
Okay.
I'm not, because again, I don't want anybody to think my family's
No,
perfect.
yeah.
But I think, bro, like I said before, my parents did a good job of goddamn shielding us away from shit. So I don't know.
That's what's up.
You know what? I would say, nah, I can't say that. That don't count. No, I don't know.
What is it?
No, I can't say that because it's gonna be sports related, but I can't say that because that had to do with me personally.
No. You can say that though. You can say that because I think
What was I?
Pretty much just the way it went about. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah,
you can say that.
Nah, because I'm gonna be cry.
You about to cry, bro?
I'm gonna cry, bro. I failed, bro.
This is an open space, bro.
Bro, you're not alone.
It's a safe space,
No. He said,
failed, bro.
Let him go ahead.
Nah, man. I would say this sports in general, bro. I think the curse that I think it go back to being knowledgeable about things around me in the sports realm. Like now that I am where I am, I know more about
the politics
behind basketball, about sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, like I told y'all before, my mom, my dad, like we didn't really know much about the sporting aspect of basketball. We just knew rec ball, we knew t-ball, baseball, football. Like we just played recreational.
Yeah.
So when I started playing like AAU, it was a culture shock because it's like, dang, you got to spend this amount of dollars and you got to talk to this amount of people and you got to this hotel and then you got
to build relationships.
You got yeah. So it was just like I already knew I was good at basketball, but it was more of the financial aspect. We couldn't always play. If I could, I would have played on every AAU team. I'd have been like Jaren. Like I'd have been playing everywhere.
Y'all think education a generational curse?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be just formal education. It could just be.
I think it's where you go to school too. I think that. Yeah, because
what he's saying, bro, it's like Jalen now, but with this mindset, understanding the business side of sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
At 15, 16, bro, you couldn't tell me at least going D1 or a potential chance to play in front. You know what I'm saying?
Should have been.
And then it come down to, bro, like niggas just put up 20, 30, 40. Off the court, niggas is talking, you just like, bro, like, I don't even know how to talk to you niggas how y'all ask me the questions.
Right.
Yeah.
So now they can deem that or view it as like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, even going back to like, when I didn't start looking at people's rankings till I got to high school.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about that stuff. Like I didn't care. Like to me, it was just basketball. I just wasn't educated in that sense. So I think I don't know if you consider this a generational curse, but I think just being more educated in the politics behind.
Okay,
basketball.
So I would say more being educated on the dream of what your child is
for sure.
That part.
Just making sure like I wasn't waking up. Yeah, I wasn't waking up early in the morning running no suicides, no laps. I wasn't lifting no weights. I was just like how Allen Iverson was. Like that's who I wanted to be.
And that's the problem. Our role models.
Man, listen, I wanted to be Allen Iverson. Roll the ball out there and just go to work. I'm not worried about no trainer. I don't care who you are, bro. You got to guard me. I got to guard you. That's it. Point blank.
So is money one?
Yeah. But so that's the one where I'm going to touch on. For me, it's basically what you were saying about being a business owner. Like I do have people in my family, my immediate family, like my mom and my dad, business owners. But by the time my son is 18, 21, 25, I want him, there's something available for him right now where I can be like, hey bro, you can take this over whenever you know, whenever, you know what I'm saying? Right. There's nothing that my parents have or grandparents have passed down to me. And for me, not even just businesses, but just assets, period. Like I want to have investments, properties, like just something that creates a financial cash flow so that they never have to worry about the necessities of life. Because I think one of the biggest generational curses outside of communication, open and honest communication, is you having to start from ground zero. You don't know anything about credit. You don't know anything about healthy debt. As because all you know is a lot of people are taught, oh, don't get no credit card. Don't spend the money on a credit card. It's like, it's great for you to spend money on a credit card depending on how you go about it. Are you creating healthy debt or you can creating consumer debt. If you're just putting money on a credit card to buy some shoes, no, fuck no. But if you putting money on a credit card to invest in your business, and now that money comes back tenfold, and you pay off your credit card, and you keep increasing your limits, because the best way you can grow your money, if you can use somebody else's money over using your own money, is like boom. So it's certain stuff like that I'm personally breaking for my family, so that way I can pass down to my son. So when he gets 18, and this is one thing I also hate: when you get a certain age, you kick your children out. Like, my son will always have a place in my home. I don't care how old he is.
That's how my parents were.
He will always have a place in my home. Because y'all already know I slept in my car, and that shit ain't for the weak.
Yeah.
That shit could break you.
Yeah, I agree with that. My parents were the same way. My mom was basically, she did have some ground rules. You either working or you going to school. The only way you're gonna be in here, you're not just gonna sit on your ass in my house.
Yeah.
You're either going to work or you're going to school. You one of the two, but you will always have a place to stay. So that's why. Yeah.
And the last thing that I've broken in my family is yelling. I do yelling. I do not yell at my son. I don't yell at my son. I don't yell if I got a woman, which I am dealing with a woman now, but I don't yell at my woman. Like, there's no yelling involved when it comes to, even when I'm teaching him like sports, I don't yell at him. Because I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, coach, it's okay to, I'm like, the same thing I can get across to you. If I'm yelling, I can tell you in a calm tone.
I'm calling cap.
You call cap?
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes though, that's specifically in the sports world, it's like they don't listen unless you yell.
And that's where I'm talking about. That's the curse.
That's a curse right there, bro.
That's the curse that you don't even realize.
My dad, bro, used to.
That's the curse you don't even realize.
Boy,
your dad taught you to hoop.
Yeah, like,
that's valid, bro. My dad the same shit, bro.
I'm talking about, bro. It don't matter how many people in the crowd, bro. His voice, stands out.
So
his voice is gonna stand out.
Your dad's voice is definitely gonna stand out.
My dad's voice is gonna stand out. And it wasn't nothing crazy he was saying. It was just the fact, like, but I don't even have to look at him, but I hear him. That's right.
But that's a curse. The fact that y'all disagree, that's a curse you don't even realize. Once you come across, because y'all both play sports, did a coach have to yell at you for you to get a point? And I'm talking about just you personally.
Depends on where I am.
Me personally, no.
Did he have to yell at you to get a point across?
I'm gonna say yeah, no. It was.
No, the key word is have. Like,
did he has, yeah.
No.
Did he have to yell to get the point across?
To get a point across to you?
Nah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Most people, you don't have to yell. Actually, nobody. You have to yell to get your point across. Now, do you have to teach differently depending on the person? Yeah, probably. Somebody else is gonna take more time to get it. You just take them to the side. Bring them out of their 5-on-5 scenario. Do some more one-on-ones with them.
I think it's more the distractions, like the stuff around what's going on.
But that the coach teaches you how to shield that out.
Them niggas cutting into you.
No, the military. Fuck the military.
I'm just saying.
Already know that ain't even.
You can't.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jalen.
I want to part of that.
What I'm saying is,
you appreciate the military.
I'm talking about how they go about breaking you down. You can still train an animal without talking to him like he's an animal.
You gotta beat his ass though.
No, but you can the same. Okay, if you have
that's trauma.
We going back to sports. That's trauma. We can go back to sports, right? I can sit here and motivate Jeff. Hey, lift that weight, bro. You got this, brother. You got this, brother. Run the sprints. You got this, brother.
Some niggas gotta get, bro. It's saying like
you don't. I'm telling you, you don't have to.
There are certain ones that may require. There are certain ones that require.
That's a curse, bro.
No, it's
not required. You talking about being yelled at?
Why is it a curse?
Certain ones.
Because
I agree. Because some of them, like, they really will not listen unless they're being yelled at. Now, if that's a curse, cool. But there are people like
they don't need to be on the team. Get him out of here.
Be the best player on the team.
Get him out of here. I don't care.
So if you LeBron James,
but first of all, I would never want to coach
LeBron.
Yeah.
I'm just
LeBron's coachable.
Because let's say we're talking about high school. You gonna kick LeBron off the team? Because you said
some coaches will though.
I would. I done told you, I'm the type of person that will. I'm not that dude that's gonna be like, bro, just because you're this skill wise, you're not gonna break my standard, bro. The standard is this. I'm raising you. I'm helping you become a man.
Bro, there's no way in hell you're gonna be able to say that to a star player without yelling and cursing and all that.
All right, you think
You ain't
that?
like, hey, bro,
You think that?
No, bro.
And here's why. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
It's you know how I was as a jit. The star player. I had a coach be like, "Hey, get out of my gym," and I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm Ty Crane. You know what I'm saying? We seen Coach Carter when Junior Bill like that's our leader score right there. They kicked out Junior Battle.
Yeah.
Coach Carter, I don't care who you are.
But that's a mental. You trying to set the standard in there.
I'm setting the standard because it's not just about this one player. I don't care. It's a legacy.
And that's what I'm saying.
If I gotta lose this one player, to create a standard for the rest of the future of this program,
it's what I'm saying with the military, bro. When let's say we just got off the plane, we walking into this gym, we walking to this field. We like just sitting there chilling around. Them niggas come over there blowing that whistle and yelling. Everybody line up.
But you don't have to.
Bro, you gonna fall in. I'm telling you, bro.
You don't have to, bro.
Like, y'all talking about lifting weights. Look. You talking about lifting weights. There ain't no way in hell you're gonna be able to goddamn crank that shit out, listen to some fucking Hannah Montana or something.
That's not what I'm saying.
You need to hear some goddamn turd shit, bro.
What I'm saying.
You just brought up Coach Carter.
I'm not talking about he.
No, but it's just an example. It's the whole movie.
So you remember at the beginning when like he got introduced as a new head coach.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Gentlemen, report to the baseline."
Like he was holding his ass.
They was just like, "What? Report to the baseline." What did they do? Then they got online. They started running.
He had to put that, set that tone.
Like he had to set that tone and yelling.
I get that. That's what he did. But what I'm saying is you don't have to.
So what was he supposed to do in that situation? Because they didn't listen when he just said, "Gentlemen, report to the baseline." When he raised his voice and yelled,
depends on what type of coach you are, though. Like
I get that, but that's an example that's speaking to what he's saying.
Now again, that's a movie and it's dramatized, right?
No, but that happens in real life too.
But it's
bro. Team that win, bro. Coach don't put his foot in your ass. If y'all went.
I understand that.
You don't think Greg Popovich yelled at a couple?
I'm not worried about them.
He
probably has, but I'm not worried about them. My thing is the fact that I've seen it, I witnessed it, a coach where he's a successful coach, one of the best, probably the greatest coach I've ever played for, and he never raised his voice, and we did exactly what it's like, we did exactly what we were asked to do, and we won games. It's just like,
I mean, I don't think you necessarily, I agree with you in the sense that you don't have to yell, but I don't feel like I wouldn't consider it to be a negative connotation if you do yell. I mean, I don't think it's, as long as you're not saying, as long as you're not yelling and saying nothing crazy, like you stupid, like as long as you're not talking crazy,
right?
I don't feel like there's a problem. Like I feel like I think there has to be it has to be a mix up. Like you can't just be a yelling coach. Like if you're yelling, but you're also like, hey, like let me talk to you.
No,
I'm talking about
yelling at.
Yeah, if you're yelling, I'm saying if you're yelling at kids and that's your whole coaching persona, then of course, hell no, you're not going to be a solid coach.
Right.
But I'm saying if you can have intermix where you can yell, but then you can also have that.
No, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, that's good.
That's the type of coach that I would prefer. Like
but I'm not. I'm like, me personally,
sometimes you got like the fire.
If a kid is like that and he's my best player, I'm not going to yell at him.
You can't coddle to the best player.
It's bro. Go ahead, bro. Get out of here.
They gotta learn.
That's a cancer.
You just give and give and give. It's like
that's a cancer, and that's what's wrong with our NBA today. A lot of those kids.
Well, NBA is different.
They're grown men. But they were kids before.
I get that, but in the NBA, they're not kids.
But they were kids before.
Nah, some of them still be kids.
They were kids before, and just because you're a man,
go high school, college 1 year, then you there.
Some of them still be kids.
No, I get that because that's why they are what they are now.
Because of how they were raised as kids.
I understand that, but still.
But
like you can yell at a kid.
That go back to what you were saying with the correct parenting. Like some parents is real smooth sell their kids, and they're allowed to be them in this setting. Now them trying to be themselves in a different setting with mom and dad not there. A lot of us looking at it like, what the fuck is this nigga? Like, okay, for example, it's a lot of privileged kids who are in the pro sports because their parents also play pro sports. But when you look at the eye test, like, bro, how in the hell is this nigga running the guard spot? There's no way in hell that you need a certain type of. No. I'm saying this is the image that a lot of us get at. Like, you need a certain type of grit to get through shit. And I'm like, don't no more because they're slowly changing now, bro.
No, you can get gritty without yelling. But
I think you got to come from certain type of experience, bro, to have that. Bro, it's the same we all in the gym, bro. We know some niggas that wasn't dogs in the gym. We gonna run right through that nigga. Move. He can have the skill set and everything, but it's just certain type of.
No. Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Who's the one player that not John Stockton. Gary Payton said, I could not get under this man's skin.
It was definitely John.
And it was John Stockton.
Yeah, John Stockton.
Because he didn't care about all that rah-rah. And John Stockton wasn't talking to you either. He just
know why John Stockton would pay attention.
That's a valid.
You said what?
You know what I'm saying?
You know why he would pay attention to Gary Payton.
But Gary Payton got into a lot of people's skin.
But you know why? You know that nigga ain't no black people. You might listen to that nigga.
But
so I thought you think I ain't listening to nigga. Nigga, please.
What?
Nigga, bye.
Okay, so what do you wish more people understood about trauma and growth?
What do you wish people understood more about
trauma and growth?
Yeah.
That's time and patience.
That is achievable. You got to put the time in.
I don't know. Understood more about trauma and growth. With trauma, I would say like I wish people understood that like just because this person came from this doesn't mean they can't get to where they're trying to go. Because I think that's where a lot of people mess up at. They think that they're just gonna stay this way from their previous trauma when that's not the case. Like you may need to have some patience to help them get through whatever it may be.
And what tools do you think? What are some of the best tools and resources that you would think that help people get through generational curses and personal
traumatic experience in life, where life teach you something? Then you gotta just isolate yourself and just like.
So you got to do it on your own.
Yeah. Okay. Like for example, the experience I told y'all with the whole sleeping in my car in the QT on Wilkerson. Cool. Left to Kansas. I was gone for 2 years and tell niggas nothing. But I was like, bro, I got to work on me. And now all these experiences happen around me. But I'm like, this Kansas setting is so motherfucking quiet. Ain't nothing going on outside of just.
But how did you? What did you use to do your inner work?
What do you use the inner work, bro?
What did you use?
I didn't ignore the voice that was in my head talking to me.
Where did that voice come from? Where did it stem from? What were the roots?
Just experience, like, bro, you just got to be honest with yourself. I feel like once you understand who you are in your environment, now you can change what's going on around you. But I'm saying that instance when something pop across your head, like, okay, I got to change this. Niggas be ignoring that voice, bro. They be like, nah, I ain't really going. So
it depends on the voice that you hear, though. Sometimes you may have to ignore
sometimes the voice. That's why I asked you.
Ain't always the best voice.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Like, where?
But you got to go a quiet setting. So I would take my ass to motherfucking the lake or the park somewhere. It's just me.
But okay, so let's say you. If you want to change, the voice that you heard, right? You went to church growing up.
Yeah.
So you had a positive foundation in your head already. A lot of people don't have a positive foundation.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to shake the pot. Church some bullshit.
Okay.
It depends.
We can have that conversation another day. I'm not against that conversation at all.
Baptist churches is a generational curse.
I'm not against that conversation.
Finessing y'all for y'all chicken.
I look, listen. We can have that conversation another day.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, in regards to your second question, in regards to your second
in the comments,
in regards to your second question, because that's a. Yeah, you tripping.
No.
But I would say, in regards to your second question, is basically like, don't be afraid to talk to people, because there are people who's going through something similar to you.
Okay.
The world is huge. There's a lot of people experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing currently. So don't be afraid to voice yourself and be heard by people. Like, go on things like podcasts, have conversations, whether you know what I mean, it's friends or somebody you don't know. Just
it's kind of like we all different, but we all alike at the same time.
Right? Yeah, we all live the same life. We've all lived the same life, but just went different paths.
Yeah. Because I used to struggle with that a lot. Like I used to think like, dang, like ain't no one in this world like me. Like I used to really think that.
We've all done the same thing.
And then when saying the more you talk to people, so you're just like, oh damn,
like there's a lot of commonality.
I went through that, or I'm going through that right now. Yep. So like, I definitely agree with that.
Hey, but you see right there was a point where I be saying like niggas ignore that voice. Like to build and work on yourself, you're gonna spend a little period by yourself.
For sure.
And after you work on yourself, figure it out, you start being put around niggas who got similar type of.
But sometimes being
you
by
been to
yourself
therapy
ain't
before?
good.
Nah.
You gotta go to therapy.
I had. You saying I need it?
Yeah, you got therapy.
All right, so look. I had one in high school at Independence.
No, we ain't. No, fuck off.
No, really. Let me get this shit off.
My fault.
I'm just saying, like Independence and Livingstone, they brought somebody in there, I'm just like, bro, some shit, I ain't really think therapy was needed, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm feeling like the therapy for me is like, okay, me and my lady might have got in an argument. I don't want to talk about the situation right now. Let's go ride bikes. Let's go take a walk to the lake. Let's go walk around the park. And then we in the positive setting. Now we can have a conversation because you know what I'm saying?
No, that's a therapy. That is a therapy.
A great way to look at it.
There are different forms of therapy.
Okay,
you ain't got to go talk to nobody.
But I do think, and it's not even just about talking to anybody, but it's like just reading. Like you can read spiritual books. It doesn't have to just be the Bible. You know, it could be anything that is pretty much self-help to get you to realize, oh dang, this is why I think like this. Because a lot of times we think a certain way.
Ignore that. We apologize.
Keep it down, guys. We're doing a pod.
A lot of times we think a certain way, and we have no reason why. Like you never even think about it. Like, dang, why do I think like this? Why do I?
We all are.
But you never think about it though. Like
think about why you think that way.
You're talking about like certain tendencies that actually just
do certain tendencies. Why we do certain things, you hardly ever think about it. It's like, oh, just like we were just talking about yelling in sports. It's like, dang, why do I think yelling is okay? Or me? Why? We all grew up pretty much with the same type of coaches, and it's like, dang, why do they? Why is that? What we never really have that conversation with ourselves.
I think it's for something we learned in our household. Our parents, I don't know about
it's not just it's the environment, period. No. It's our environment, period.
We ain't do much yelling in my house.
But the yelling ain't always a negative, like...
No, I'm talking... My thing is... It just doesn't have to be done. Like, it doesn't have to be done.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to war with these people. It's like, we ain't got to go to war with people. We don't have to fight. You don't have to.
Bro. Like, in order to find peace, bro, you have to fight sometimes, bro.
I digress. I don't think so,
bro. Because if you building yourself out towards something, you look, or this is what it is. Somebody else, just because they see it, bro, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a conversation for another day. But I think therapy is needed. Any different type of therapy, whether it's counseling or nature therapy, sports therapy, whatever you want to see.
Yeah, I do sports therapy.
LMFT.
I don't do gaming no more, man. That gaming it add on to the trauma.
Hey, do y'all think
that's just stressful?
Y'all think like your parents not I say like allowing you to just be yourself is like a generational trauma?
Your parents not allowing you, or
like for example, let's say you had a dad who was just carried himself a certain way. You see you carry yourself in a different mannerism, but he looking at us like
he wants you to follow him.
Like on something you just not as
tough.
But some niggas use their mindset more than they use the physical.
Mm-hmm.
So it don't require you to be as tough. You know how to be evasive and move the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It could be.
But we
you
gotta wrap it up.
You could talk to somebody, bro.
Let me hang, bro.
You gotta talk to somebody. Hey, look, I do love you.
I said, fuck the church, and now everybody.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. It's all of it. It's a compound effect, brother. Nah, but look.
Why y'all? What?
You didn't read that?
No, I read, but it's just like, damn, like.
Nah.
But no, one thing. Here's my thing. I know a lot of his story.
No bullshit.
I know a lot of his story, and the fact that it's a lot. I know why his responses are his responses, and it's like, bro.
But you sit around and wait on something that ain't never gonna go get it yourself.
We gotta unpack. There's a lot that he gotta unpack himself.
Yeah.
But that's the positive in knowing, like, we understand it and aware of it. So
it's good to be knowledgeable of that stuff, though. But
and that's the thing I was saying at the beginning. Like after you said it's not a good thing or a bad thing with the curses. Being aware of and being knowledgeable, bro, that should help you though.
It does help.
At least you know that. At least he knows.
That's step one.
Because there's a lot of people in his position
have no idea.
That don't even know.
They're not self-aware.
At least he knows. That's what I'm just.
Or they could be. They could.
No,
but then they could know. But then
that's not self-aware.
But then I'm saying they also could know, but they don't. They're trying their best to try to push it to the side without facing the adversity.
So they're not taking accountability.
Yeah, that's perfect word. That's a perfect word.
But yeah, therapy, any type of therapy, spiritual healing, regardless of how you go about it. Whether it's the Bible, some people do looking at numbers and astrology and whatever else. That's fine.
Or you could. No, I was playing.
And then smoking, whatever.
No.
I'm talking about weed.
No.
But community.
That's not. I don't know. We don't say smoking, bro. That wasn't what I was gonna say. No, bro.
Some niggas smoke weed.
I get it, but to me that goes back to what you said. I know we're trying to end it, but that goes back to what you were saying earlier, as far as it being like that. You're just trying to subside the feeling for that moment.
Yes,
like
sir,
you still once that high come down, bitch, it's still there.
No, but it may open you up your mind to think a certain way.
Do y'all smoke weed?
No, I don't smoke.
No. None of y'all?
No.
No, I will say.
Me neither.
When I first started, like when I did smoke weed, and it did help me.
At the Met, when y'all renting cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody at the Met that remember that pile up? That bitch with a neck breaker. So I said, what the fuck just happened? And we got practice in 30 minutes. That nigga, man, we went to practice. Coach said, where the fuck everybody at? The hospital. But that was the most awkward practice I ever had in my life, bro.
Bro, I ain't go to school the rest of the week, bro. That was embarrassing.
The nigga said, where everybody at? Like, shit. Maine hospital.
But and building a community, surrounding yourselves and talking about situations that you may be dealing with, and realizing that other people may be dealing with what you're dealing with or have dealt with. So what he talked about is like, being able to share and
share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Hey, share your thoughts in the comment section. You know what I mean? I'll be in the comments. I'll be watching.
But yeah, so
I'll be there.
What we
Yup, I'm there.
What we gonna leave y'all with is just be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, has my family passed down any generational curses that I'm not aware about? Or if I am aware about them, how am I tackling them and building and making sure that I leave a legacy that is not affected by the generational curse? So,
and leave it in the comment section.
Yeah, leave it in
never know.
If you're dealing with anything,
facts.
or your family has dealt with anything, leave it in the comment section.
Somebody may be experiencing the same thing.
Let's touch on it, man. Let's build from here. Let's grow and heal from our trauma.
Shout out.
And that's where they pass the collection plate around to the rest.
Nah, it's crazy.
All right, man. It
was a good episode, though. I wasn't on Demon Time today. I was cool today.
We signing out, man. See y'all next time on the next episode of the No Table Manners Podcast.
You're listening to No Table Manners Podcast. Conversations for open-minded grown folks. We hope you enjoy.